Guys, very good morning. Welcome to another episode of Stackdeck After Hours. How are you guys doing?
Good morning. Doing well.
Me as well. Yeah, doing great, man.
Good to hear, guys. And I'm excited because this podcast we have a very first guest. We're not with the three of us anymore.
Yep.
So let's see who our very first guest is.
This is the very first guest. Meet Nana. Nana flew
Hey,
all the way
Nana.
from Indonesia.
Hey, good morning,
That's
Nana.
cool, man.
Yeah, she's cute. She's a white socks on, small necklace. So yeah, she's a princess.
Her name is Nana, Nick. Nana.
Yes.
Does that name have any meaning? Like, does it come from
No.
somewhere?
That's the name that the rescuer gave her. So we adopted Nana when she was 3 months old. She came from a poor family, not a poor family, but a family who treated her poorly. So they rescued her, and then we started fostering her for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks became 4 weeks, and then she was in our heart, so we kept her.
Cool, man. Cool story. Well, Nana,
Nice.
thank you and welcome to the show. Now you're famous.
Welcome to the show. Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome.
The very first famous Stackdeck dog.
Yep.
Stackdeck dog. I like that. I like that. I like the sound of that. Guys, it's early mornings. It's 8 a.m. and we're already doing our podcast. So I really like the start of this day. Today is going to be an amazing day. If this is the start, then I'm looking forward to the rest of the day. I hope you guys had a lovely 2 weeks since our very last podcast, in which we discussed the pain of SaaS. And today I would actually like to talk with you about SaaS, about what SaaS is. Like, where does it start? Where does it end? And I would like to start with a question first. So me and Nick, we're kind of dinosaurs, right? We're kind of old, and then we have one little youngster over there, and that's
Nana.
Oliver.
Oh.
So Ollie, do you remember? And this is a serious question, but do you actually remember what it is to burn a disc?
Yeah, definitely. You mean like putting songs on a CD?
Exactly, like
Yeah,
burning,
yeah,
like
yeah.
copying a disc, like a
Yeah,
CD-ROM.
I used to do that myself back in the days.
Really?
That
You
old
did
I
it.
am. Yeah.
That old I am,
Yeah,
he says.
definitely. I even had a proper Discman when I was
Cool.
younger. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're not that young.
No. I was no. I have some experience with technology and everything. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good. We love it. We love it. Another challenge then. Do you also know the floppy disk?
No.
I do.
Right?
The big ones, especially. That's what it started with.
Yeah, you had the very big ones, and you had was that the 3.5-inch thingies?
Yeah, I had a computer. I think it was called like something 368, something like that, with this huge disc, and you put it in, and there were fun games, but like really low graphics, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Floppy disk. I'm gonna get myself one just because the sake of it.
Cool.
So yeah, Ollie, the floppy disk were the one before the CD-ROM, basically. Reason why we're talking about this is because um, we we talk a lot about SaaS, right? But I seriously, I'm that old. I'm 35, but I'm seriously remember the days when I installed Photoshop on a computer from a CD-ROM, right? So you would order Photoshop, they'll send you a CD-ROM. It's you pay a one-time fee, you put it in a computer, install it on a computer, and that's it, right? Then let's say a year later or whatever, they release a new version, and you had the option to buy the new version or be living life with the older one, and you could like use that basically forever. So the question today is, we moved into this world of SaaS, right? So we went from buying a physical copy of a piece of software to this online thing that keeps on updating, and where you basically always are on the newest version, but everybody's on the newest version, right? So and I want to talk with you about the limitations of that. What is SaaS? What defines SaaS? So, Nick, what is SaaS? Tell me.
You can go really into that, but I think it's pretty straightforward. Software as a service. It says anything. Everybody knows Netflix, where you just pay a monthly fee or and you can watch videos on demand. It's similar for SaaS. It's software as a service. So you pay a monthly or yearly subscription and you can use the service. And when you stop paying the service. It's online. You don't have to install it, except maybe for a client, for example, like Slack. For me, that's it. That's SaaS.
Okay, thanks. Ollie, what is SaaS to you?
It's a difficult question. I haven't given it too much thought. But yeah, I would say obviously it's software. But do I then, is it like the very first thing that a user buys that is like the end product, or is it more a service for another software or platform that they use to improve their services? I find that difficult to say. For example, you mentioned Netflix. I don't know if I see that as SaaS. Maybe I see that more as paas. Like that is the end thing that a user consumes, so to say. So do I then see it as a Yeah, I don't know. I find it a difficult question.
I think Netflix is a different example. It's more for customers. And you can call it fast, like video as a service or SaaS, and anything as a service, of course. I think it comes in very different versions.
Okay,
What do you think,
cool.
Jurgen?
I want to dig a little bit deeper on that because can we agree that Salesforce is SaaS?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're in alignment. Perfect. I love this. Then there is another term that is not SaaS, but it's called paas, Platform as a Service, which is the AWS, Google Cloud, and that kind of stuff. And then there is another layer that is called iaas, which is Infrastructure as a Service. That is called DigitalOcean, for example, Rackspace, AWS, those kind of like basically where you run your server in the cloud, right? So the cloud hosting. If we take that as the definition of SaaS, so SaaS, PaaS, and iaas. Let's take those three as the world of SaaS, okay? And we said that we can agree that Salesforce is SaaS, so probably also Slack and probably also Dropbox and services like Okta. Still in alignment everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So far, so good. Now, Uber, Getir, SaaS or not SaaS?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so.
No, I agree.
Okay. Why?
I think for me the biggest difference between the two is you, for example, mentioned Salesforce, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a particular, I would have zero interest in having Salesforce if I wouldn't be using it for something else, right? Or with Google Cloud Storage. I don't know. Why would you have? Maybe that's a wrong example, but for example, Netflix. I can have Netflix, and that's it. That's like the final product that I use, and maybe Netflix uses AWS and the whole shebang, but all the stuff that they use behind the scenes, I'm not interested in as an end user. And I think that's where the difference for me lies.
Okay, so for you, if it's a means to an end, like something
Exactly.
in the middle, that makes it SaaS.
Yeah.
Nick?
So, for example, Slack. Communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it SaaS, Olivier?
Yeah, it is. Because I wouldn't be
But
using Slack if I wouldn't be working in a company. Like it's not that I'm gonna, I don't know, at 8 p.m. in the evening, sit on the couch and open Slack, see what's going on, while I do not work at any sort of company.
okay. But also Uber, for example, you want to get from point A to point B, right? So it means to an end.
Yeah. So mm, Yeah, but then that is the thing that I'm using. The end. It's a platform that I'm using. Same as for Netflix. I open the app, I immediately use it. That's the thing I'm actually using. And also Uber.
I think I can kind of get what you're saying there. Might be
It's
in
hard to.
alignment. Although, yeah, the funny thing is that the tools that you're describing, Ollie, as means to an end, are mainly business tools. And comparing that with Netflix, for example, it's a consumer tool, right? So it like basically you are consuming that tool yourself for the sake of your fun. The other tools you're using just because you work at a company that like uses those tools. Um, so that might be a little bit of a different, but we can challenge this thing, right? So Stripe, SaaS?
Funny. If you apply the same methodology as Oliver uses for example, Netflix, the customer's product, for the consumer, it's not a software as a service, it's just a way to pay. But for the business can be a service, software as a service, because they see the payments, they can do the refunds and everything. You see the analytics of it. Then it's a software as a service. Then it's a SaaS.
Yeah, fair enough. Ollie, what do you think?
I must say I know what Stripe is, but I'm not too familiar with it to exactly know whether I would define it as SaaS or not. So I can't give a good answer for that one.
Okay. Nick, you said at the beginning when I asked you what is SaaS, you said when there's a subscription.
Yes. That's
Stripe
one
is
way
no
to pay.
subscription. You pay on the fly. You pay per seat, per payment, basically.
True. Yeah. But you still have a contract. So I think the definition of you engage in you sign a contract. And the form of payment can be subscription, can be an annual fee, can be a fee based on the usage, all those kind of things. So I don't think it's limited to a certain type of payment.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And then, for example, Just Eat Takeaway, and so platforms, Just Eat Takeaway, Temper, which is close to our heart, of course. Is that SaaS?
Yeah, that
You
for
use it
me
every
is
day,
really
but it's so
yeah,
difficult to define
for
when you
that for me
come
is
with
the
real life
typical.
examples.
Yeah, that for me is really paas. And I think that's also where the difference for me between SaaS and paas is. So you as an end consumer, as an end user, do not necessarily have to use SaaS, but paas is something that you would be able to use on your everyday, on your day-to-day life.
So is
Yeah.
Uber then a platform?
Yeah,
So Uber is a pass.
yeah. Spotify, Netflix. Yeah,
I do want to make a clear difference though, because PaaS is used in different terms, right? So I referred to PaaS earlier on as the AWS, the Google Clouds, basically the platform providers for hosting, which is completely different from the PaaS, platform as a service, as in the platform, sort of the platform economy, right? So the Ubers and those kind of stuff. So it's definitely important to make a difference. I think personally, although a company like Temper, Uber, Just Eat Takeaway are strongly software focused, right? Their whole product is software. I don't think that makes them SaaS, and I think that's where the confusion comes in, like a lot of the times, because we think of, hey, it's a company that builds software, and their product is a software product, but I don't think that qualifies them as SaaS. So the way I see SaaS is something that you subscribe on, whether it's a pay per seat or a monthly fixed fee or whatever. So I would say Stripe includes as being SaaS as well, and I also think that uh, a company like the obvious one like Salesforce is SaaS, and then I would disqualify Uber, Getir, as being SaaS, right? So those are for me. It's more a platform. They're heavily software. 90% of them is software, right? But for example, a company like Van Moof, the now bankrupt bicycle thing, and also for example Tesla, um, they are those companies are known for their software, right? So for their software first approach, I would say, but that doesn't make them a SaaS company, in my opinion. They're software companies, but not SaaS companies, and I think that's a big difference.
And before we're spreading fake news here, or I might just not be on top of my new news, but I believe that Van Moof was bought by the E-Step company, right?
After bankruptcy.
Yeah. Okay. Touché.
No, if I'm correct there.
Okay.
If Van Moof is not bankrupt, then sorry, Van Moof, you're not bankrupt, but I think you actually are. So, yeah, guys, cool. I think so. Let's do a little sum up after this lovely talk. Ollie, what for you is the definition of SaaS after this?
Yeah, okay. Let me first emphasize the fact that I am that guy that does not know what a floppy disk was, right? I mean, I'm just a youngster here. This is really, I haven't given it any thought deliberately as well. But for me, SaaS is really something that would enable other companies or other platforms to perform better. But it's not something that the end consumer would use alone. Right? Yeah. Is that clear? I don't know how to describe it in a different way.
No, it's extremely fake, but it works.
Fake news.
I'm a fake news spreader. What can I say?
No, I said vague, not fake.
Oh, vague.
No, vague. Okay. It kind of describes you. It's extremely vague, but it works, right?
Okay.
Although we still love you, Ollie. You know it. Nick, what is it for you?
You're such a good friend. You're such a good
I stick to my I stick to my definition, but I value your point of view of like how to determine if a company is SaaS, like if it's heavily using software or technique. It doesn't have to be a SaaS company or SaaS application, right? So I value your vision there.
Okay, and yours, mine, or Ollie's?
Sorry, your is Jurgen.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, Ollie.
Wrong
Sorry,
decision
Ollie.
here, Nick. Wrong
Floppy guys win.
I know where your house lives.
Cool. But Nick and I go way back, man. We're from the floppy era, so you cannot like.
Yeah,
there's no winning.
We're waiting
Touché,
for you.
touché.
We're waiting for you for some hugs.
Yeah. Okay. So my definition of SaaS, I think I just clearly explained it. But my definition of SaaS is a company that is software focused, but offers some kind of subscription or some kind of like tool that you use every now and like on a regular basis, and not something you as a platform as a service. So just the takeaway, a lovely temper, and companies like Stripe. Well, Stripe I would include, but not Uber, for example. So for me, that would be the definition of SaaS. So thank you for this, guys. I think it's a lovely discussion, a lovely debate that we had today.
I agree.
So thank you for that. It's not even 8:30, so let's make the most out of this awesome day. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you, man.
Ciao.
Thank you for this.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See ya.